Good morning. Good morning, family. Oh, it is January 2nd, and this is the first day of our Daniel fast that we are doing with our church, 28 days. Today's Bible scripture that we were supposed to wake up and read first thing in the morning. We woke up at 5 a.m. That's our goal, to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. to read it.
Good morning, family.
Was Joshua chapter 1 through 5, like the whole chapter 1 through 5, all 5 chapters. Took us about an hour to get through because we kept stopping to interpret what we read, break it down. So far, we both feel excited, ready for the month ahead.
Yes, we know that mentally, emotionally, especially I feel like we are really prepared to go through this fast. After reading scriptures and breaking them down and preparing our minds and our bodies to go through the fast is really exciting, because we really are excited about the end results of this and what we're going to get out of this, going through this journey. Going through the journey of what our body's experiencing, how our body speaks to us, how we respond back to what it's feeling, and how we mentally, emotionally, and spiritually get through those, have an understanding of what our bodies are telling us, and how to just repent against that body feeling, because the flesh tends to flesh, and God says, and you said, spirit tends to spirit. So, we want that spirit to tend to spirit, because we always know that, for the final close cause is that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So it's all about our spirit controlling our body more than anything else. So we're really excited about cleansing our bodies, cleansing our vessels, and living in our true power that God has ordained us to live into.
Yep. So, and before this, I was not an avid Bible reader, but he was. And so he was telling me things this morning that was like out of this world. And I allowed him to lead us in this because, like I said, he is more proficient in the Bible and things like that. I definitely understand why Joshua 1 through 5 was what they wanted us to read first.
Yes.
We are following a PDF. Well, it's actually like a brochure, a pamphlet, a guide that the church put together for us. But you can access it online as a PDF. And we're following the Bible reading for every day that they want us to follow.
Yes, we're reading every day.
Yeah, everything is all over the place. So Joshua actually comes back in at the end of the fast. I want to say sometime in the 20s, I think the 22nd day or something like that. There's another part of Joshua that comes in at the end. So they're they have the scriptures in order
for a meaning.
And I think definitely this was for a reason. Like, they did Joshua 1 through 5 for a reason.
I think my read, I think it's preparing us to cross over.
Yeah.
We're preparing to cross over. How Moses, the children of Israel, how they crossed over the Red Sea. Same thing with Joshua, with the Israelites and the 12 tribes and the 12 rocks. Just crossing over to the right side.
Yeah.
And we're excited about that. We know what crossing over to the right side means and what it means a lot to us spiritually. Yeah,
it definitely is helping me to see how important this fast is going to be to my personal walk with God, that leads into our walk as one with God. And I definitely think that I struggle to allow God to lead. I struggle to allow him to hear him and follow through. I well, not necessarily to hear him and follow through, but I feel like I struggle with giving him space to work in my life. I want to have control over everything, and I want to do things my way. And I definitely think in this fast, I'm going to learn a different way. And I'm excited, so excited about that. We are juicing most of the time. We are going to have like one meal. I was saying 1 meal a week, but it looks like it might be 1 meal a day. And juicing and nibbling on different various snacks throughout the day.
Fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. So we're going to juice for breakfast for sure, and see how that makes us feel as far as eating lunch. And if we feel like we don't need lunch, maybe we don't need to juice for lunch, just get a light snack. Then we'll skip lunch, just snack, and then eat dinner. But this is the first day.
First day.
So we don't know what's going to happen, how we're going to feel.
We'll see how our body responds to it, and we'll go according to how our body responds to it. We're still going to follow the guidelines. Just fruits, vegetables, peanuts, drinking water, stand on those things, the things that come from the ground up, from the ground. It's growing from the ground.
We were what I love about the church's guide that they gave us is they gave us also, they did their research. Come on, shout out to Wheeler Avenue. They did their research, and they gave us a list, quite a great list of different brands and the food within those brands that are approved for the fast. And so we basically ran through the store and got all of that most of that yesterday. And we got some brown rice, which we can't eat, and some other stuff, but it did include some snacks like Triscuits, rice cakes, of course, plain rice cakes, and it included some stuff we can snack on throughout the day too. So we're going to juice every morning for sure, and snack after the juice when we do get a little hungry, and then kind of see how long and how far that juice takes us. It is 9:51 here right now, a.m., and so I'm hungry, but I'm not starving. I'm going to juice, and I'm going to drink one of the juices we got from the Main Squeeze.
Yes.
The Main Squeeze does all their juices cold pressed, and we have a juicer, but it's not cold pressed. And so she was telling us that cold press actually gives you more nutrients in the juice than the other way. And so we're excited to try these juices and see how that also goes, because if so, then we'll go and get a couple of 6-packs every time. But I want to see how fast we go through these 6-packs that we got. We only got 2 6-packs, and both of us are drinking them. And so I want to see how fast we go through these 6-packs, and then that'll determine if we move forward. Autumn actually this morning was asking about taking one of the juices. I was like, no, those are for mommy and daddy. And so I told her that I will make them their own juices, because I don't think they'll drink any of the juices that we got. And so I don't think they'll like them. And so I'm going to go buy them some apples and make them some fresh apple juice, because even though it says to not drink any juice, I think that's juice from concentrate, because there's no difference in eating the apples and drinking the juice. But I think that mentally that'll help our children get through this fast without feeling deprived. And so, and I love that they have a children's. We're going to leave the link in the caption in the description below, because I love that they have a children's version of the fast as well. They recommend that they eat at least one fast meal a day. They're not recommending them to follow the entire fast to its entirety.
Participate.
They just want them to participate as much as possible when it comes to like not anything outside of a meal. So their snacks and what they drink, they want them to adhere to the fast fully. But their meals, they want them to at least do one fast meal, and any other meal can be a non-fast meal. They recommend that fast meal be during dinner time, so we can do it as a family and sacrifice as a family. And so they're doing it with us. I don't know if Baby Rain will do it at all. Because she likes fruits and vegetables.
She likes fruits and vegetables. You know, I think she could participate in a lot of things. You know, it's still good food for the soul. So I think it would potentially make it really, really good on it. We're really excited about a lot of things with the fast. You know, a lot of things with just spiritually what it does for us, and also for our body. Because you know, your health is your wealth. And part of the day of fast is helping out with your health. A lot of things can change. You know, like for me personally, I'm dealing with psoriasis. So I get also to monitor how my skin changes.
And I deal with hormonal acne.
So I can see how much the power of this fasting would do for me internally inside my body, and how my body responds to the psoriasis. It goes like an autoimmune virus. So I get to see how my body responds to it and see what kind of results I get out of it. And also to you to see the true importance of doing fasting and living the way God wants us to live when it comes to our eating and our eating habits and things like that. So we're really excited about that too as well. You know, of course, aside from that too as well, we lose weight. You know, we drop a little bit of weight.
Yeah, because I deal with a lot of bloating. I can be fresh off my cycle and just be bloated up until my next cycle, like looking like 3, 4, 5 months pregnant sometimes. And I do a lot of bloating. I do a lot of constipation, and I have my hormonal acne. And I know that my acne is hormonal, because I only get a flare-up about a week before I'm about to start my cycle and the week of my cycle. And so that's how I know my cycle is coming, because I'll start getting multiple bumps. And so I'm excited to hopefully cleanse my body and help with the inflammation, so that my body is prepared for my cycle a lot more than it is now. And because I'm sure the things that I like to eat when I'm on my cycle too, it hurts. It does not help. It hurts. It definitely causes me to end up, making things worse for myself. So I'm really excited to see how this stuff changes both of us. And
me too. I'm definitely excited about it. So things that I have included in my diet is definitely not helping out with psoriasis and with food that causes inflammation within me. And I know it's not really helpful to my skin. I really want to see a change. I see how my family is affected by the skin reactions that I do get when I have flare-ups. And I'm hoping that the fast help clear some of those things up for me. They help me start on a new good balanced diet and balanced eating to help it out. All right.
Ready to get this day started?
I am ready.
Y'all ready to follow along, James?
Prayer, meditation, scripture reading.
We already did Bible study today. Jonathan did meditation. I unfortunately fell back to sleep. Yeah. So we got to do meditation.
Speaking of sleep, I feel like it's going to hit me later on today. So we're
going to bed on time.
I hope most definitely.
We didn't go to bed on time last night. We did not do very good at preparing for today, but that's okay.
Man, that book is nice. Show them.
It is. It's really beautiful. We're going to do these every day too. We want to start that though for the rest of the year. This is not for the fast. This is every single day.
Yes.
This is 366 devotions for couples, and it's a Mr. and Mrs. book, and it has the devotional. Today's devotional is 1 + 1 is 1. Yes. This is about basically leaving and cleaving.
Amen.
Leaving and cleaving.
Let's get in.
And then it has a prayer at the bottom for you to read. So you read this. And then you have a prayer. And what we like to do, we actually did it one day last year for whatever day it was, whatever day.
Yeah, I remember something like that.
Yeah, we picked whatever day we were on that day, and then we read it and we reflected on it. And it was really, really powerful. 14 years together, almost 12 years married. We've been through a lot, and so we were able to relate. I'm sure we're able to relate to a lot of things in here. This one for sure is something we can relate to. We did deal with my mom not understanding the leave and cleave idea when we first got married, and like it got to a point to where I had to distance myself because she was playing on my love for her, and she was affecting my marriage. And Jonathan is such a good human that he genuinely was going to just let that keep happening, even though I could physically see it affecting him.
Yeah.
I could see it affecting him, but he wasn't going to say it. And so I had to say it. I had to take control. I had to do the right thing. And I'm glad I did because, what happened happened. She recognized, this is my husband now. I'm no longer just your daughter. And I have a responsibility to him. Yeah. And then I went and had 3 children that I also have a responsibility to. And she still struggles with the whole leaving and cleaving thing. On New Year's Eve, Jonathan and I desired to go to church. And every year for the past 3 or 4 years, we have gone to church on New Year's Eve instead of staying there, drinking, partying, having, doing all that. We want to go to church. And this year was our first year actually bringing in the new year in church. They had the clock counting down, and the whole church went crazy once it hit midnight. And the pastor was still preaching, but we went crazy. Like, we started going crazy when it hit midnight. And it was such a blessing. It was such a blessing. It was genuinely everything we needed. And so I definitely am glad that I didn't allow her and my sister to stop me. But they didn't want us to take the kids. They was like, why don't you just leave the kids? They don't want to go. And I'm like, but they need to go.
They need to go. I mean, I feel like it renewed our energy when we step into the Lord's house. It renewed our energy. First, when we left, we felt a little uneasy because our emotions all over the place about what decision that we were making.
Because of them making us feel bad.
And mentally, trying to make us feel guilty about the decision that we are making. But when we stepped in and started praising together and fellowshipping together, that whole atmosphere of our mind changed. And was happy that we did make that choice.
Everything made sense. And so I'm definitely, it's cold outside, right?
Yeah, it's like in the 40s outside.
Oh, shoot,
it's like 45. It's warming up, but yeah.
Shoot, yeah. Okay. I was extremely happy that we went ahead and went. And I was glad that I'm at a place in my life now where they cannot affect me. I don't argue with them because at the end of the day, this is the family God ordained me to take care of. I love y'all, but unless you're ill and in true need, I cannot take care of you. And I'm sorry that you don't agree with my traditions or you don't agree with us needing to be in church for New Year's. Like, what is that going to do for your year, you being in church? It's going to do a lot because it's a connection with God and a closeness that I feel like will secure our closeness for the rest of the year. It's an alignment that happens.
Yes,
and I feel like what you are doing within what you are doing to bring in the new year is how your year is to be. I truly believe that. In the past, we did stay at my mom's house and we partied and had good times, and then our years were trash.
Our connection to our purpose for the rest of that year,
it was trash. It was trash.
We didn't have no mental focus, no conscious, no subconscious focus, but it connected together on how we wanted to approach this year. Are we fully connected to the purpose, what we wanted for the whole year, and stay like emotionally and spiritually attached to it and holding each other accountable to that. Like all that stuff is lost in the sauce when we went in and celebrated the New Year's Eve, going out partying and doing what just the majority does on New Year's Eve, going out and partying and bringing it in, because you talk about what you done always December the 30th. Oh, we're trying to go crazy and lose our minds and start all over again.
Well, it's not even just about that, but who we brought it in with. I love my mom and my sister, but they struggle in their faith all year long. They got mad at us for going to church Sunday night, but neither one, and said we could have went Sunday morning with with the other people, but neither one of them made an attempt to go to church at either time.
Right.
And that's how it is. They don't go. Church is just not important to them. It's not important to them. And at the end of the day, I need to be surrounded by people who love God no matter what. I need to be surrounded by people who can uplift me in God's word, not looking for me to do it for them because they feel like I'm God's favorite, or not looking for me to do it for them because they are so lost in God's word. I need someone that can lift me up too. I need to be surrounded by those type of people. And being with my family on the outside, right, in the human flesh, being with my family, bringing in the New Year seems harmless and seems like, it's just a good time with good people that you love so much. But in a spiritual flesh, in my spiritual being, it's not conducive to a healthy year moving forward. My mom and my sister were there for me verbally this year, but they were very seldom there for me otherwise. Neither one of them watched our children for us for whatever we needed. My mother-in-law did that for us. My sister and my mom watched them, I think, for a day or two while we were in Branson. But aside from that, and maybe watching them a couple of times when we would do DoorDash, and that was selfish because that's just because she didn't want them out there. So she would have us bring them all the way over to her house for the few hours that we were DoorDashing. But aside from that, like none of them, they weren't as there as they, making it seem like, we're family and we're so tight. Like, love y'all, but at the end of the day, all year, y'all live y'all's life and y'all allow me to be over here living my life, whether it's hard for me or not. So I have to go and fellowship with this group of people who are going down the same paths I'm going and who are looking for the same alignment that I'm looking for. Yeah. And I just cannot allow. I walked out. I did not argue back, which I'm very proud of. That shows growth. Yes. Because the old me, or the first time this happened many years ago,
there was some bad energy in church.
I walked out crying, yelling, voice hoarse, because I was screaming so loud. My children were crying. It was a hot freaking mess, and I cried all service. Yep. This year, I said, bye y'all, love y'all, see y'all next year. I can't do this. We have to go. And we got our stuff, we got our children, we left. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when we got to church, I wasn't even thinking about it anymore.
Everything was gone.
If anything, I was looking at Jonathan, and I shared several looks while in church, because our children sat in between us. We shared several looks while in church,
each other,
agreeing that we made the right decision and happy. Like, that's growth. That's growth. Because the old me would have been like, no, let's not go. And for a second, I thought about it. I was like, this was more so what he wanted to do. I wanted to do it. But because my family were already in my ear all day on Sunday, I had a moment where I was like, maybe we should just go ahead and go to 11:30 service this morning. And he was like, no, because I want to be in the Lord's house with the Lord's people, praising and worshiping him when 12 o'clock hit. Like, I just really want to do that. And I was like, I agree. Because it was something I told him I wanted to do originally. And he was all for it and on board. And here I am allowing my family to get in my head and change my mind. And I'm so glad that first of all, I'm glad that you didn't follow my lead, and that you followed, you led us.
I stuck to the gun, man. So I stuck to it and said, all right, we be going.
And even when they were trying to act like, you were the one who I was the one who was not wanting the kids to stay. I was like, it's not me. Like, stop looking for Jonathan to side with you. Yeah. I don't run my house. I don't wear the pants in my house. Yeah. Jonathan is the one who really wants to go. Yeah. Jonathan is the one who does not want to leave our kids. It's not about me. And like I said, I really did want to go, but that little part of my brain that wanted to please my family was playing with me. Yeah. And so he said out loud, he was like, no, the kids cannot stay. Yeah. And he left at that, walked away. He did it so calmly that I didn't even realize until after it happened that he said it. And I was like, okay, because he don't ever stand up to my family, ever. Yeah. And he
never got involved into
it.
Yeah, and it's it's our kids, it's our authority, so
it is.
And we have that power, we have that right. And, we take that and we go with it. And I'm happy that we did. We prayed together, we laughed together.
Oh, we prayed together. The girls had their heads bowed. I'm changing, sorry y'all. The girls had their heads bowed. They were singing the songs, because some of the songs that we were singing in church, they learned in children's church. And so because they knew the songs, they were like blasting them, and they ended up having a really good time.
It was on the Bible apps. There was reading scriptures, following along. Our oldest daughter, she really struggled with just creating a relationship with God. And what made both of us proud was actually sitting there watching her put the Bible app on her tablet and try to follow the scriptures and read along. That's a good start.
I will say that she did struggle a little bit not being at the house with my mom.
Yeah.
And she said, she was like, so what time? So is church going into 12 o'clock? I said, yes, ma'am, it is. She was like, so we're not going to be able to be with Nene and say Happy New Year? I said, you can call her immediately after. And she was a little sad about it, but I stuck my guns and I was like, no, we're staying until midnight. And there were a lot of people who did, not a lot, but there was a handful of people who you saw once 11:30 came, they got up and they started walking out.
People were dressed up like they was going to go out and stuff,
You could tell they was going somewhere, and they, but most of 90% of the church that was there, the church was packed. There was no seat left. So 90% of the church that was there stayed. And once we were done, they did FaceTime my mom, and everything was always well. We spent some time with her yesterday as well, and all was well. But I really think it was more my sister than my mom as well. And my sister definitely has an influence on my mom, which is another reason why I needed to exit stage left. I couldn't stay, but that was how we started our new year, and that's how we're gonna finish it. We're gonna finish it next year in church. What we're gonna do today's devotion. Now,
1 + 1 is 1.
You can go ahead and do your skincare while I do this.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead.
Okay, January 2nd. 1 + 1 is 1. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Matthew 19:5. Moving forward means leaving the past behind. Woo! How many of us needed to hear that today? Mama, repeat it just in case you didn't hear it. Moving forward means leaving the past behind. Go ahead, you can wet your face in there. There you go. If you keep looking over your shoulder, you'll stumble and fall as you travel the road of life. To fully embrace a new identity in marriage, you leave your parents' household and build your own home. And that is not literally, that is metaphorically speaking. The households being your parents' space, like their space. And you go and you build your own space. You build your own home, because the house is not a home. We are our home. Have you left your father and mother? Is your parents' approval more?
Come on.
Is your parents' approval more important than your partner's? Where was this book?
Day before yesterday, right?
No, not day before yesterday, but many years ago. Like 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 years ago. Where was this book? Is your parents' approval more important than your partner's? Do they provide for you financially? Is there pressure to arrange your plans for their benefit rather than yours? Oh my goodness.
Come on, keep going.
Oh my goodness.
Good reading.
Is there, I'm repeating the things I feel like we need to not miss. Is there, where was I? Is there pressure to arrange your plans for their benefit rather than yours? You need the privacy to work through decisions and conflict on your own. Have they offered their home as an escape if things don't work out in your marriage? Oh my God. That was the first thing my mom said when we were engaged. And I told her about the pastor saying, basically, the order of priorities goes God, my husband, my children, whatever job I have, then extended family, then hobbies, and then whatever else. She was like, so that pastor told you to put Jonathan before me? And I was like, when I married him, he is my number one priority. Whatever you depict from that, whatever you take from that, that is your business. She tell me, well, okay, and so what if something happened to you and Jonathan and y'all end up divorced? Who you gonna run to if you decide to put him first and alienate me? I was like, well, first of all, for you to punish me for trying to make my marriage work and be a priority, that's something different we need to talk about. Second of all, why would I marry him if I thought I would divorce him?
Right.
I don't need you to give me an out. I don't need to know that your home is my safe place in the event my marriage don't work. We've been together for 2.5 years. You really don't think we've had the tough conversations? Being that I came from a broken home and he came from a solid home, we've had those tough conversations. What happens in the midst of this? If I cheat, if you cheat, if one of us lie, if one of us do this or do that, what will happen? And we have both agreed we don't work it out.
Yep.
But we also both agreed that we love each other too much to even allow those demons into our marriage. And true to fact, been married for almost 12 years. There are no lies being told between us.
Yep.
Nothing but honesty.
Yep.
And when I did find myself slipping into the arms of another, I never slipped, trip, and fell. I just glided a little bit and caught myself.
Yep. Your heart inside our marriage was strong enough to do.
Was strong enough to say, no, this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have yet to sleep with another man in the 14 years we have been together. So what? I don't need you to give me an out. I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. There's no exit plans.
No exit plans.
No exit plans.
Have they given their blessing, respecting you as adults with separate goals, dreams, and life choices?
Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. This is.
If this ain't talking about me and my mom, it ain't. I don't know what else.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because no, she has not. She did not give us our blessing going to church on Friday. And that was just one of many things she hasn't given us her blessing on.
Yep.
Crazy. You're called to honor your father and mother, Exodus 20:12. Their wisdom and help can be a gift. They deserve thanks for supporting you growing up. Ask God for direction and how to move fully into your marriage relationship while still showing kindness and respect to your parents. And I feel like I've done that, and I have done the work. Me and God have been working hard in this space so that I can have a respect for my parents that doesn't make it seem like I'm not honoring them.
Mm-hmm.
But they can see that my marriage is my main priority. It's what's on my brain all the time. I'm sorry. My marriage, my family. My marriage comes first, and my children come a close second. Like, sometimes they both first. And at the end of the day, I don't have room for any more first. This is just how it is.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Bow your head. Lord, teach us how to leave our past behind and build a new life with each other.
Oh, yes.
Unite our hearts so we can become one. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, this was good.
That's a good reading.
Oh, this was really good.
That's a whole lot packed in.
They depicted exactly what a relationship with a parent who is unable to let go looks like. All those questions were very valid to my situation. That's crazy. I'm so excited to read the rest of this book.
I am too, and this is some powerful stuff packed into that, because those emotions are really strong when you are trying to appropriate your emotions in your marriage. Versus your parents. Your parents brought you up all these years, so it's a part of your heart, mind, and soul. I've been seeing this person all my life, and I have to kind of pivot on my feelings and lean towards God's understanding for marriage and create a separation, between my parents. But it's a good holy separation, because if you really think about it, if my parents would never did the same thing, I wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be here. My parents, my mom and my dad have been together since the mid '70s, and my dad was in Killeen, Texas, and my mom was in Houston, and my mom, her older sister. Her husband had family in Killeen, so they all went together to go to Killeen to go, see the family out there in Killeen. And my mom met my dad out there, and the first time they met, that was it. My dad was in love, and he was on the verge of becoming 18 years old. So he turned 18. He told my parents. He told his parents, "Hey, y'all, I got the love of my life. I'm going down to Houston. I'm gonna give me a job in Houston, and this is gonna be my wife." And sure enough, that's what happened. They got married in like '79. And God bless my father. He passed away in 2018, but they was married almost 40 years. And me watching them come up together and watching them, be strong together and cultivate a marriage and cultivate values, it really helped me in the developmental stages to watch that and be that same model. Whatever I said I was lacking that I can add on to when I become married, I make sure those values was put into it, and that I expand myself past just what I've been told, but to elevate that too as well. So it was a great experience for me, and also gave me a great foundation of going through things and how to emotionally and mentally take challenges in a marriage and take the rightful steps to repair things that's been broken in a marriage, or deal with challenges in a marriage in a healthy and conducive way that will give good results. So I'm really thankful for that experience that my parents did give me to bring into my marriage with my wife. And she brought some great things to me too as well. So we were able to mesh our experiences together and elevate our marriage in ways we can name and describe.
And I love that his parents, I don't know if you mentioned this because I went into the closet to brush my teeth. I didn't want the loud noise to
Go ahead.
affect y'all. I love that his parents allows him the space to be my husband. Like, they tell him all the time, like, that's your family. You do what you got to do for your family. Don't worry about us over here. And it's to a fault because his mom now is a widow. Lord rest my father loves. My father loves soul. Lord rest his soul. He was such an amazing man.
Yeah.
He was a dad to me. He wasn't no father-in-law or father-in-law. He was a father. He was a dad to me for sure. And I miss him every day. I only had him for 9 years of my life, and oh God, I miss him every day. Rain is definitely missing out on an experience, and I wish that she had that. But she's not a widow, and like Christmas time and things like that, when things need to be done around the house, she don't even call Jonathan. Yeah. And he has to tell her, Mama, I want to come help you. Mm-hmm. Like, tell me what you need. She'll call one of her brothers before she called either one of her sons.
Mm-hmm. Like knowing that my mom don't with my dad anymore, and that's the only man that she's known since she was like 16, 17 years old. So I can feel and see the pain, but she wants to stick to the principles of that. But I also want to say, hey, Mom, I'm still here for you. And I said you need help, and I'm extending myself to help you and be there for you.
Let me do it.
And without you feeling guilt that you are pulling me out of my marriage and pulling me from my wife to accommodate you. And it's not that. So
I want him to go help his mom because my mom uses him all the time. Yeah. Like, my mom uses him all the time because she is still a single mother. I have a 14-year-old sister. She is still a single mother. And so, she unfortunately needs him all the time. And so I want him to be for his mom what he's always been for mine. My mom calls him for everything. She ain't paying nobody for nothing or doing it on her own, and she feels justified and righteous in that. She's like, he's there. What else is he here for? I mean, he's here for some other things, but okay.
But for her, certain circumstances.
But his mom doesn't do that, and while I appreciate that she respects and loves our marriage, I want to call him when she need him. But I value so heavily that they have given him space to be my husband, and that they just let us live. My mom struggled with that. I mean, y'all, we almost lost our man. I almost lost my husband, and he will never tell you that I almost lost him. But I'm telling you, if I had let that mess go on for any longer, I would have lost my husband. Because that was a mess that went on way longer than it should have. I would have lost my husband. I mean, there were times where we would be out to eat. She would call me. What you doing? Oh, me and Jonathan on a date. We out to eat. Where's London? London. This was when London was a baby. Most of the things that happened that should not have happened when London was a baby, before we had Autumn. Where's London? Oh, she at my mother-in-law's house. My mother, Jonathan's parents' house. And she would be like, oh, okay. Instead of her saying, y'all enjoy yourself, have a good time, here she come. What y'all eating? Oh, I love that place. What you get? Having a whole conversation with me. Ma'am, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I have to go. And so now we've gotten to a point, thank God, where she understands, especially when Jonathan was working. If she calls me and she hears Jonathan in the background, but it's during the time he would normally be at work, she'd be like, oh, Jonathan's off today? I said, yeah, he off today and tomorrow. It's like, oh, okay, I know you want to spend time with your family, with your husband home. So I guess call me later. Call me when he, the next day he go to work. I'll be like, okay, I'll talk to you later. She gets it now. But before, she didn't get it. I remember when we were engaged, she lost her job. So she lost her job in February of that year. We got engaged in May. We got engaged in May of 2011, and she lost her job in February. And she got mad because she was like, I like to go out to eat. I like to do fine dining, and I like to wine and dine myself. You and Jonathan go out to nice restaurants, and y'all don't ever invite me. You and Jonathan go out to fancy restaurants, and you don't ever say, no, let's not go out tonight. Let me take my mom, or can I take my mom out to eat on this day instead, or whatever the case may be. Like, she was upset that I wasn't whining and dining her because she couldn't do it for herself because she was unemployed. First of all, Jonathan wasn't whining and dining me with my money. He was whining and dining me with his. So I'm going to take his money and go take you out instead? Would you have allowed me to at least bring him a plate home? Like, what the heck is going on? Then one of her friends convinced her that I was wrong for not moving back home so that I can help her with the bills. Well, I'm engaged. Why would I move back home to help you with bills? And another thing, I moved out for a reason. I moved out because I would be with Jonathan hanging out at his house. And he would it would literally be like 9 o'clock. And probably on like a Friday, Saturday night. And she would call me and be like, hey, what time are you coming home? You need to come home. It's 9 o'clock. What? I'm 22 years old, 23 years old. What do you mean I need to come home? Dang, I can't even get till midnight. Even high schoolers get midnight. I didn't live but 20 minutes away from his house, from his apartment. Like, what? She was giving us very little space to be boyfriend and girlfriend and actually grow in our relationship. And so eventually I was like, I gotta move out. That's the only way we're gonna work. I am 23 years old in a relationship with a 29-year-old man who literally has the freedom to do anything he wants. And is a very eligible bachelor. Could probably go get any girl that he wanted. I'm literally gonna lose my relationship because my mama think it's okay for me to. Then she made a comment, why do you have to see him every day? I was like, Mama, I only see him maybe 3 times a week. Our work schedules don't collide. He was 7 to 4 Monday through Friday, and I work shift work. So sometimes I work 7 to 4 too, or I would work 12 to close. But by the time I get off, he gotta go to work, so I'll just go home. So I only saw him 2 or 3 days a week. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why am I seeing him every day? What, y'all can't see each other once a day? Don't y'all see each other at work? Why y'all? I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. You're crazy. He ended up laughing because it was that serious. But we hope that you guys was able to take anything from all that we've said. We've been talking for, the timer says 44 minutes. But I hope that you guys were able to, take something from what we said and you're able to take it with you. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is hard, but it's even harder when you have distractions. And your parents could definitely be a huge distraction.
Just the emotional stronghold your parents may have on you because they brought you up. You got to really decipher through those emotions and those feelings and really dig into what's important. Because sometimes it's a hard choice to make, and you gotta defend yourself against your parents, or defend someone else against your parents. Just psychologically, emotionally, it's like it's hard. It's hard to do. It's a challenge.
I feel like one of the best things you could do for yourself is remember that you don't owe your parents for them raising you. The only thing you owe them is to live a good life. That is their reward for them raising you. Anything else you do for them, financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, anything else you do for them is just extra stuff. But it's not mandatory. It is not mandatory. You living a good life is their reward. Them breeding good human beings that do well, live well, act well, speak well, follow God's word.
In the advancement of themselves.
That is what you owe your parents. You do not owe your parents your life. You do not owe your parents to self-sacrifice what you want and how you want to live, because at the end of the day, they took care of you, but they also made a choice to have you. Like, you didn't ask to be in this world. It's not like they did you a favor. So you owe them to be a good human being in this society, but that's really all you owe them. You owe them to be able to look at you and be like, I raised him well, but that's really all you owe them. Does that mean you don't take care of them at all? No. When I can, I take care of my mom. I always have. I've always overly done for my mom, because my mom's love language is gifts. My mom loves being gifted things. She loves being treated like a princess. And so at the end of the day, I do love to do sweet things for my mom. But I had to get to a point where I had to realize that's not stuff I have to do. It's a choice. And if I cannot do it for you, if I can't do what you want me to do in this moment of your life, then I just cannot, and it's okay. You don't owe your mom. You don't owe your dad. You don't owe these people. You don't. Ooh.
Oh, so you just put in your finger, remember?
Shoot, take glasses off. That did not go well. So this is about to cover your whole head. I was like, oh, this is about to be everywhere.
Fast, it'll clear up some of this.
It will. It will. I know my first drink gonna be that detox drink. I'm excited about it.
Drink the, you put a hair.
Sorry. But let us know what y'all want to see. Let us know what y'all want to see in the captions from the fast. We plan on doing this every single day.
Yes.
Every day won't be this long because we won't have to explain what we're doing.
Got a lot to unpack.
Every day we had a lot to unpack this morning to get y'all to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're excited about it. But every day will be just basically a reflection of how we feel as of right now.
Yes.
What we're experiencing physically, mentally, emotionally, and in the other areas of our lives that could definitely be impacted from being obedient. And so that's what we will be sharing every single day. We're going to share what juice we're drinking every day, how that's helping us with our skin, and how not eating meat, sugars, and things of this world, processed stuff is affecting our skin as well. And so we're super excited. And
we love y'all. Y'all found this video very insightful, very inspiring.
Please like and subscribe.
Yes. All right.
So I'm going to do detox today.
I want the one that that's doing energy. Yes, we're preparing ourselves.
Awaken.
Yeah. So I want to do energy because I know I'm going to need this later on for the day.
These are the ingredients. Awaken has apple, lemon, ginger, and cinnamon. Detox is the filtered H2O, lemon, agave, and activated charcoal.
Excited, y'all. Here we go. Charcoal for the soul.
Cheers.
Cheers to fasting. It's good and it's really refreshing for the body.
And mine's because it has lemon and it has that lemon tang. But the agave definitely died that down a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't taste the charcoal. And the young lady at the place recommended we drink the whole thing. So if this is our breakfast, drink the whole thing. I'm proud of us.
Too.
I'm so proud of us.
Me too, I'm proud of us. It's going straight down too.
I love you.
I love you too, baby.
Ooh, okay. Follow us in shorts for the rest of our day today.
Yes.
And we will see you guys tomorrow for day 2.
Tomorrow.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
Follow along this journey. We love you guys.
Love you.